Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 9. We're nearly there in double figures. So this is Breaking the Fourth Wall. I'm Nathan Goff. I'm joined by the ever always compromising Matt Burns, who's been kicked to a curb recently in the last 24 hours. He's been rejected by 2 females.
Not 2 females. I wasn't rejected by 2.
Okay, it was kicked, abused, stamped, and violated by 2 females in the space of 5 minutes of the match. It's most man's dream to be violated by 2 females, and then he's just been abused by a third on the phone, which was quite funny for me to listen to. So it was great from there. So it was the same disclaimers that usually go out, people. I'm quite swear happy. If you don't like it, just tune into another fucking radio show or something like that.
And there goes the disclaimer already.
And Matt isn't here to please anyone. This is Breaking the Fourth Wall. The views are ours and ours alone. If anyone has a problem with it, send it in on email. We'll answer you back in the nicest possible fashion.
God, I'll have you answer that one.
So how's your week been apart from getting battered by 2 females last night?
I wasn't battered by 2 females.
Well, you were kicked in the crown jewels by 2 females last night.
Funny, and bear in mind, I did have Barricade literally hit me with a crossbody with my own finisher.
Yeah, so
tied insult to injury.
Yeah, so that was nice. It was if anyone was there and it was got any pictures of Matt being kicked in the balls twice, if you want to send them to breakingthefourthwall@outlook.com and we'll happily stick them up on the wrestling page.
The scary thing about it wasn't a kick.
Okay, getting hit in the balls.
Uppercutted.
Yeah, it's fine. If anyone has any pictures again, send them through to Breaking the Fourth Wall. I'll stick it on the it on the tab
all I will say is
where Maria is at the moment.
I will say this to you. I don't know if Maria's not there. If you remember.
But she's the head of the pictures.
Good point. But all I'll say is when it happened, I was able to. I could literally sing The Sopranos if I wanted to.
Nice.
I was that high pitched. It was one of them. It was that bad. I was actually. I had to check. I'm thinking to myself, why is there a third? And then realised that's the swelling.
Yeah, so if your name's Matt Burns this week, you haven't really had a good week. You came and watched the disappointment that was England with me on Tuesday night.
Oh, good God.
Jesus Christ, that was not worth the price that we paid to go watch it. The only saving grace was it was £2 a pint. And
no.
by the time it finished, I was pissed.
Yeah, and the only saving grace was that guy with that sign in the crowd.
Yeah. If anyone hasn't seen that sign yet, please, that is priceless. I'll try to find it on Google. I'll stick it up on the page. I'm actually getting quite good at what I say on there.
Generally.
I wasn't able to post the Mania of WrestleMania up there. I found out that I wasn't able to post a link due to Daily Motion because it goes through to something else. So if anyone wants to find out the video that I was on about, if you go on YouTube, type in the Mania of WrestleMania, and it's in 5 parts, view it there. I'm sorry I couldn't put it up, but certain things permitted me from doing it, so I do apologise about that, people.
Yep.
So Matt's had one of his worst weeks in recent memory.
Yeah, no kidding.
I've had quite a good week. I came in dancing, singing, and
yeah. You came in dancing, singing. I came in almost walking into doors, floors, and everything.
Yeah. If you ever watched John Wayne get off a horse, that was Matt today.
And that's the nice way of putting it.
Yeah. So apart from that, I've had a good week. Pool's going well, work's going well, and we also have a secret project, which we've had a brief 20-minute meeting about.
Yes.
I'm halfway through finishing that, which could be revealed within the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Actually, they've actually sent me a message. We can reveal it if we want to. We can either reveal it this week or next week. Personally, I think for the project, this might sound wrong of me to do this on you. I'd say save it for next week when we've definitely got a grasp of things, making sure we know exactly what it is, because we don't want sort of let the cat out the bag, and then when it comes down to it become a flop.
Yeah. So it's being reviewed next Sunday. We're hoping to have an answer by Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's something that we've been promising that we'd work on, but it's come from unexpected sources to actually ask us to do this. We didn't ask people for permission to do this. People have asked us to do this.
Which has been quite surprising.
Which has been quite surprising since breaking the fourth wall
As a podcast audio.
Yeah, it was meant to be a one-time thing. It's now going into its 9th week, and after 9 weeks, people are starting to appreciate our way of doing things. So hopefully this will be the next stage, and hopefully the start of a couple of good partnerships that we'll be developing in the wrestling business. Matt's already got quite a few good partnerships, but this is me trying to hypothetically break the wall down between us and the wrestling world.
And it's all good, but just so you know, though, everybody, we're not going to forget you lot who will listen in. We're still going to be keeping up this podcast, regardless of the projects and whatnot.
Yeah.
Depending, even as big as it gets, we've got to do this because I think with a project like that, if we didn't have the podcast, I think we'd slightly go insane, wouldn't we?
Yeah, because this is probably one of the only places I can vent as well as I do, because I aren't able to be as outspoken as probably one of the best words that I could put about certain things. If I tried to do that anywhere else, I'd probably get persecuted. So I love you as probably as much as you will hate me. So
it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, I love you, hate, and yet you all come back.
And yeah, so. actually, I don't think they hate you.
No,
they can't hate you, because if they hated you, then they wouldn't be listening to us.
Yeah, so also we have a thank you to make. We've also doubled our viewings again.
Or more.
Yeah.
Doubled.
Yeah, we've more than doubled it again. So thank you to everyone that's listening. If you can help us keep promoting Breaking the Fourth Wall, we'd appreciate it. We're here for you. So without further ado or gilding the lily, great line taken from A Knight's Tale, folks. So jumping straight in from Raw.
Raw, what did you think? I thought... It had some hit and miss. It did have some hit moments, but it also had some big misses.
Okay, so we'll go with the big hits.
Big hits. I've got to say, I do like the fact that Kane's been added to the Money in the Bank.
I don't.
I think I do, because
can't he just leave to go record See No Evil?
He's always been in a ladder match in the Money in the Bank.
There's some other spot monkey that'd be better suited to that spot. Why not stick Rob Van Dam in that one, and then stick someone else in Rob Van Dam's place in the contract match? Because we know Rob Van Dam isn't going to win the contract. I'd believe more that Rob Van Dam would win the belts than the contract.
Fair enough.
You know, in there, you've got 6 new people and an old fart in the contract match.
The difference is with Kane is he's one of the heavy hitters in the big belt match.
There's loads of heavy hitters. I'm waiting for Cesaro to neutralise someone off the top of a ladder.
Oh, you'd love that, wouldn't you?
How ace of a spot would that be?
Oh, that would be ace.
But I reckon that'll happen at some point. Either that, or I reckon he might swing someone off the ladder.
That'd be interesting, but I can guarantee an RKO might be at some point will be coming up.
Yeah, or an FU.
Oh, yeah.
But like the main title match is actually missing that spot monkey.
Oh, Sister Abigail.
Yeah, but it's missing that spot monkey. Yeah. Someone like Ziggler or RVD.
Kofi.
Yeah, or Kofi. Like if you look at the contract match, it's got 3 spot monkeys. It's got 3 spot monkeys in there that could all steal the show.
I think what they're sort of doing, they're sort of having the main event players for the belt, and then having their future superstar, their potential future superstar,
and one past it.
And whatever, one past it, going for the contract.
Yeah.
Which I can see what they're doing, but if it's going to pay off or not depends on where they're going to go with it and who wins it.
Yeah, I can see that. But that's one of your good points. One of my good points is, for once in a while, we actually have a Divas division build-up.
Yeah.
Money in the Bank, we've got 2 Divas matches.
Which is quite...
Yeah, Fandango's probably the luckiest man in WWE at the moment. He gets referee one of their matches.
While also getting beat up by the women.
Yeah.
Actually, Oh my! I just realised something. Am I the English version of Fandango?
No, because
Except for I'm not actually getting the women.
and you're also not that good looking.
Coming from the.
Yes, it's coming from me. You know, I've got more chance of being Fandango than you have. You know, you're Bray Wyatt, and
You can't even hold the A's.
Bon.
You can't even hold the A's when saying Fandango.
I don't have to let the age breathe. All I want it is my dose of summer. And Layla. It's like every man's dream. So, so quickly moving on after that brief pause.
Yeah.
So that's one of my highlights. Another highlight is Vicky Guerrero got a nice send-off.
It was a nice send-off, but I don't like the fact of the whole mud thing.
No, but Stephanie isn't going to wrestle a proper match against someone who can't wrestle.
True, but they didn't need to do that, did they? They could have just like an arm wrestling match or something.
No, Vicky had creative input into how she went out according to multiple wrestling sources.
Fair enough.
So, if she wasn't happy with that, she could have said on her way out, because she's been planning to go out since WrestleMania. She just chose to stay on as she felt this would be a better time to go, because it isn't in the big season, and it isn't in the other season leading up to SummerSlam. It's in the middle where things just about start pick up, so she's used it as a nice time to go out. People talked about it. Nice tribute to Eddie Guerrero.
And as we've always said, you always go out on your back.
Yeah, and it was a nice tribute to Eddie, you know. In that segment, Vicky looked strong while also being cheated.
Yeah.
Because she took out Rosa Mendez,
she took out
Layla, and who was the third one? Alicia Fox.
Yeah.
So she took out 3 women before getting cheated by Stephanie McMahon, and it was a nice tribute to Eddie Guerrero. He would have been proud. Loads of people have said that he would have been proud of the way that that the Guerrero name was respected.
And it is a very highly respected wrestling name, and it should be.
It's, you know, the Karen White's name is almost well respected as a Guerrero name.
Oh, you had to. Karen White.
Hey, everyone loves a bit of Karen White.
You had to go down there.
Yeah, he was a Guerrero, wasn't he?
He was, but he's Chavo.
Yeah, but
it's not Kerwin. and if I recall, was that one of the eras of before Dolph Ziggler became Dolph? Oh, the supposed superstar. He was a lackey.
The Spirit Squad.
Oh, good God. It was just after the Spirit Squad as well, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was terrible.
The glory days of wrestling when jobbers ruled Raw.
That was so bad.
Oh, there were some awful gimmicks then. Karen White, Spirit Squad, Big Dick Johnson.
Oh, poetry reading, Heidenreich.
Boogeyman.
Ooh.
Hornswoggle.
Oh.
Do we need to carry on?
No, I think we need to stop. I think we need to stop.
Yeah, it was nice. Have you seen the open letter that Vicky portrayed out?
What?
The open letter that Vicky wrote on WWE.com.
No.
Thanking Vince and Linda because they treated Eddie like a son. She thanked Stephanie and Paul. She broke the fourth wall. She called Triple H by his she called Triple H by his proper name, Paul. Yeah, and she wished them all the best with the kids. And she said some other thank yous to the universe.
Yeah.
Vicky Guerrero, I believe, is the last great heel manager because no one has stayed full heel for 9 years.
Yeah. And she even got a massive line just going, how much heat did she just get just from this?
No. My ears want to stay intact. You say it and I'll kick you square in the balls.
It's going to be worth it. Excuse me!
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Burns will not be joining us next week as he will need to get his balls out of his throat. So I'll be doing that after the show goes off the air because I might need him today.
All I will say though is I was only able to do that due to what happened last night.
Yeah, so Vicky had that done to her, so she had that sent across.
Yeah.
So that happened on Raw. The tag team division got some nice exposure, 2 matches at the beginning.
Yep.
What else happened on Raw?
You don't remember?
I'm just trying to remember if there's any more good points from my point of view. anymore
Bad
from
news,
yours.
Barrett.
Bad news, Barrett now might be injured, which is bad news.
That's
Why
fine.
is it every time it comes to Money in the Bank and when he's supposed to win the briefcase, he gets injured?
Oops.
How?
It's just unfortunate.
Bubble wrap him. If you know you're putting him in the Money in the Bank, tell him go on holiday for a couple of weeks. Right then, Barry, we want you to make it to Money in the Bank. So, for you to make it to Money in the Bank, we're going to let you have off from here to here. Just turn up on the night, win the briefcase. If you get injured, you've still got the briefcase for 12 months.
You do realise you don't necessarily have to win the briefcase to become the winner of Money in the Bank.
I know, but you can always grab the other one, like I've been saying that Brian will do.
No, what I mean is, sort of, because if you think about it, even people with the contract, if you think about it, there is actually one contract winner who never actually got to use his contract.
There's been two, because two of them have lost it. I know Rob Van Dam lost it to Edge.
No, he didn't lose hers.
He did. One of them lost. Dolph Ziggler lost it first time, wasn't it?
Warner, he didn't lose hers. It was Mr. Kennedy.
Yes.
Kennedy. He was the only guy not to actually cash in his contract because Edge won it off him and took it and used it.
Right then, people. So I've just had a quick look on Sky Bet, which is one of the betting sites in the UK, to have a look who will win the Money in the Bank Championship match according to their odds. Now, I'm disappointed because no one's put Daniel Bryan on that list.
It's an outside bet.
Yeah, because I'm pretty certain that Daniel Bryan will win that match.
And look who's the favourite.
John Cena's the favourite, folks. Followed by Roman Reigns, then Bray Wyatt. And then if you want a comfortable bet to win the match, I reckon the next one is at 6-1 on Sky Bet. If you haven't got a Sky Bet account and you want to have a quick bet, I'd put it's worth a £5, Cesaro.
You think Cesaro?
It's worth a £5 outside bet because the SummerSlam poster leaked, which on the front of it is John Cena and Brock Lesnar. Now, if WWE wants to go a different way to avoid, like the spoilers that have gone in place, I reckon Cesaro's a safe bet. Roman Reigns isn't ready yet. His time for the title will be WrestleMania. Bray Wyatt's gimmick doesn't suit having the title at the moment.
It won't, but
he'd make it work. He's awesome, but it doesn't
make
suit.
Anything work.
Yeah, but he doesn't suit us at the moment.
Unlike his brother, who
we won't talk about because I do not believe in that bloody gimmick.
That match was appalling.
Yeah.
How quick was it?
Oh, it was awful. Again, we won't talk about that. It didn't
happen. A low point.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. We didn't
very
see it.
low point. But, so on Raw...
And yet on somebody who's supposedly meant to be getting a big, big push. So much for the push.
It didn't work first time, and he isn't working this time. Doesn't that tell you something? Bo Dallas is not over.
No. He is over. Everybody hates him. Everybody hates him.
He's got X-Pac heat.
Think?
All people say any heat is good heat. X-Pac heat is not good heat. X-Pac got heat for shitting in Sable's bag.
No, he just got pure heat anyway. He didn't get the X-Pac heat for that.
And Tori's bag as well. It was quite known for taking a dump in many people's bags.
I thought that was Orton.
X-Pac was the first.
Oh, was he the first?
Yeah. If you listen to Jim Cornette... Actually, anyone who doesn't listen to Jim Cornette shoot videos, go on YouTube, give yourself about 2 hours, and just listen to little clips of Jim Cornette. I'm one of the biggest Shawn Michaels marks in the world.
We are.
But it's hilarious.
Have you heard the comments where he's talking about on an independent show where he's watching two guys do so badly he can hear the promoter in the background going, "Please end this now." Have you heard that one? Followed by Jim Cornette following. You know it's bad when the promoter is shouting, "End this." Why didn't just do this? Schoolboy. Schoolboy, whatever, roll up, get the hell out of there.
Yeah, but Jim Cornette his stories are legendary. He tells some good Shawn Michaels stories. He hates Shawn with a passion.
No kidding.
I love Shawn Michaels to pieces. I'm a big Shawn Michaels mark, but Jim Cornette's stories are legendary. Him talking about Brett and Shawn.
He
hates Shawn Michaels, but he hates someone even more than he hates Shawn Michaels. He hates Sonny with a passion. Actually, another one that you want to watch with Jim Cornette is Jim Cornette with Paul Bearer after Ring of Honor show.
Yeah.
And Paul Bearer tells a brilliant Undertaker story on that. I won't spoil it for you, but it's brilliant.
Yeah.
So that's that. We'll jump back onto Raw for some other good points. My match of the night was the 4-on-3 match. Good match. Everyone got a nice bit of time. Roman Reigns ended the show properly.
And with Roman, he also did something that I'd never thought I'd seen it. He did something to Bray Wyatt that Cena's not been able to do.
What?
Floor Bray Wyatt with a punch.
The Superman.
From the running position.
Yeah.
That, I thought, when he hit him with that, I thought, yeah, Bray, you better count your teeth.
So that's happened. What else happened? We had good tag team. Like we had the thingy match. Good couple of Divas matches. Some nice segments leading up.
Yep.
So that's really everything. It wasn't the most eventful
But
money.
Barrett, and then we've got one more segment.
Oh.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah, the Seth Rollins one.
What do you think of the whole Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins?
It's good, but the problem is to try and build this feud around like them being in Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank sells itself.
Yeah.
It's probably taking Survivor Series' place as one of the big four pay-per-views that people look forward to, just because the spots are immense.
It's always immense, but Dean Ambrose is not going to win it. You know he's not going to win it, and in turn, you know Rollins not going to win it. I don't think he'll win it. So
but Raw wasn't that good leading up to it. If it was another pay-per-view, if I was WWE, I would have been scared because this didn't leave a good imprint into my mind of wrestling recently. Like I've actually remembered more from TNA spoilers than I have done from Raw.
But then again...
But it's been 6 weeks of TNA spoilers.
Yeah, but then again, I know exactly what spoiler you're thinking of, but we'll move on to that later.
Yeah, so I know you want to do a quick cheap plug for United Wrestling, so I'll pass that over to you so you can tell everyone what happened on United Wrestling yesterday.
Well, as my associate has mentioned numerous times...
He got kicked in the...
I got cheap shotted twice in the Family Jewels. I was able to sing The Sopranos. I got beat. Unfortunately, I lost the first ever intergender match with me and Starla against Barricade and Felony. I will say there was one bit of... I can understand Stella being frustrated because there was a miscommunication, but I didn't exactly run into it. I was pushed into it by Barricade, who knew she was there. She might not have known that, but why? Because you have miscommunications, you do. But then straight after, I managed to get on top of Barricade. I'm about to literally hit the end, to finish the match off. Referee was checking up on Starlet, and from out of nowhere, I just felt something hit me between the legs. And I knew where it come from, because I heard the cackle from Felony. And then next minute, I just remember getting floored by Barricade diving at me.
With your own finisher?
Yeah.
How did that feel?
Not good at all. Especially from somebody he's a big bloke.
He's about the same size as you, just a little bit taller.
He's massive. He's built like a brick house. Let's say this. The guy's so hard, as I'm punching him, I'm feeling pain in my hand.
Nice.
I'm having to hit him that hard just to rock him. He is that hard to hit.
How did the Open Challenge go?
Open Challenge?
The World Title Holder put the Open Challenge out.
I'll tell you more about that. It changed a little bit. That one did, due to certain circumstances. But all I'll say is straight after my match, I literally said my apologies for bumping into Stella. She opened arms, gave me a hug. We're speaking. I raise a hand to indicate, proper, appreciate the fact that,
she tried.
We tried, and unfortunately on this night we weren't lucky enough. And then out of nowhere, I get hit again in the family jewels, and while I'm down, being stomped on. She was furious. I understand that you don't want to lose, but this was just poor lose. This was just poor. It was bad. And then she's shouting at me in German, I believe it was. I couldn't understand a single word.
I was unable to attend this event, which is probably a good job, otherwise you might have heard a "This is England" chant started in the crowd.
Yeah, even though I got an England chant straight after. But I will say, because straight after, I'm outside the ring, literally being helped up. The only way that could have been worse is if I got flicked.
Is it like a bad James Bond movie?
Oh yeah. I was weak at the knees.
Nice.
Come on. Getting hit between the legs twice within 5 minutes of each other.
Yeah, it ain't bad.
The first one I didn't expect, but the second one I clearly didn't expect. Come on.
It's probably the closest you've been to a woman this year.
Funny. All I'm saying to you is, why the family jewels?
Never mind. So what else happened on your show?
Right,
Moving on to some positive points.
Positive points. Jürgen. He was there. Talented as ever. I know you're big on him. He managed to defend his title. But but just so you know, if you want to know all more about this, just go to the Facebook page for United Wrestling for all the news, the latest news, results and whatnot. The one thing I need to point out though, you mentioned the Open Challenge. It didn't actually end up happening because originally we had the Jack Union was meant to be there.
Yeah.
They had a bit of bad news.
Oh.
Unfortunately, Jack had got an injury, so certain matches had to be changed. And Jack was going to try to, he was originally scheduled for a tag match with the champion against the two foreigners, which would be a gentleman who's actually American and the other one who's German, but they both reside in Germany.
Okay.
Who my tag team partner of the night decided to join after cheap shotting me. But I'm not going to resent that anyway. That's in the past. I will say, however, fair enough. Fool me once,
Shame on me.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Not going to happen again.
He says, however, if you want to tune into the Chronicles of Matt Burns, he'll next be at Bids on the 25th of July.
Yeah.
I think it's the 25th anyway. If I'm wrong, sue me.
Don't worry. I will make sure you know the date.
But he'll be on there. Is Stella up the next show?
No idea. But I'm not too pleased the fact that I got cheap shotted by it.
So that was that. As you mentioned, Jurgen's he's one of my favourite talents, along with a certain Ace Jordan, who hopefully will be returning to the ring somewhere soon.
Can we just get back onto what I was mentioning? So the tag match that Jack was meant to be in, unfortunately he couldn't attend due to his injury. They managed to get a good replacement. Replacement being Dave Dalvecchio.
Nice.
Nobody expected it coming. He came out. Phenomenal match. Phenomenal.
I'm surprised he didn't go for the Predators teaming up.
Well, I believe that Paul was fighting elsewhere, I think.
Yeah.
I think he was fighting elsewhere.
Which is a shame.
He was prior engaged.
Yeah, which was a shame. Any chance to watch the Predators is always a nice chance.
But I will say, though, Connors and Dalvecchio did seem to...
Yeah, to gel nicely.
They did seem team well.
So that was that.
And they got the win, I believe.
Yeah. So that was that. Have you got any news on any upcoming guests that you've got planned for us?
Well, unfortunately, we almost had Squirt here tonight. But we're trying to get Squirt.
Yeah.
Ace Jordan. Hopefully, depending on if we can get certain technologies working with our system, we may even get even more people on here through vocal technology and whatnot.
Yeah.
But we're hoping to get that working soon. Once we've got that working, we can guarantee some big things, and hopefully we'll have more people involved.
Yeah. So that's moving on that point. So, what else did we want to cover? Oh, yes. I am
You're a
right.
spoiler.
So, we're at the half-hour mark. If anyone wants to skip forward, I reckon this will take about 5 minutes.
About 5,
So, about 5-10 minutes. This is going to be one of the big spoiler alerts because I'm going to cover 6 weeks
Wait.
worth of spoilers.
1 moment. Spoiler alert! There you go.
So, I'm going to cover 6 weeks worth of tapings that have happened in TNA. I aren't ecstatic. It doesn't matter how bad your financial position is, if you're still able to employ as many people as they do, for the love of all things that are holy, you must be able to actually record your product. I don't mind if it's fortnightly, that's fine. But we're in June. This is June 28th. Saturday, June 28th. TNA have now recorded up until the middle of August. The middle of August. For the love of all things good and holy, why the blue blazing hell would you record up until the middle of August? And there's some awesome stuff.
Time off.
There's some awesome stuff going in there. Like, really good stuff happening in TNA. Where, if you read the spoilers, you'll go, oh, I might want to watch that. But I've read it, and I'm like, why the hell have you allowed this to be spoiled in 6 weeks' worth of spoilers? Probably hoping people will forget by then.
Nope.
Just to go through a couple of brief ones. If you weren't aware, Jeff Hardy has ditched the Willow gimmick for a couple of weeks while they're in New York for the tapings.
Yep.
He's had a title match against Bobby Lashley, which he lost. Matt and Jeff came back as a tag team. They faced the Dudley Boys in a tables, ladders and chairs main event match, possibly leading up to a triple threat tag team title match against the Wolves, Davey and Eddie. So
Edwards.
Yeah, and Davey Richards. So that's probably leading up to that point. So that's happened. We've had Monsters Ball match. Well, we've had a couple of Monsters Ball matches, I think. For some reason, they keep on throwing a Monsters Ball match at us each week. It's supposed to be a special thing. It's like a clusterfuck of ECW.
You know what? This just sounds like a, have they actually listened to me instead of doing, the dusty, bad finishes, you know what I'm on about, dusty finishes, interference finishes. Have they now just moved on to, let's just kill a gimmick match?
No, for some reason, TNA seems to be going through, the old Attitude Era. In,
a week?
Yeah, well, I think TNA's now found ECW. like the old ECW tapes. Paul Heyman must be driving in his car to the next event going, we did that 14 years ago.
Yeah. Or it's either that, or he's either laughing at it because they're either trying something that they've already done, that people already know, or they're trying something that that ECW already done, and it flopped.
It's like TNA, the slogan was where wrestling matters. And when wrestling matters, wrestling was good. We didn't have any backstage segments that much. There weren't that many screwy finishes. There weren't that many hardcore matches, apart from when pay-per-views came around. And you could bring out the speciality matches to help sell your pay-per-views to further the feuds.
As you do.
Which is fine. I understand that because you've got to sell. Wrestling 101, if you want to sell, you need feuds and you need to progress your feuds. Now, TNA scaled back onto 4 pay-per-views a year, and now they're just trying to get ratings in. And to get ratings in, they're like, right, how many speciality matches can we clusterfuck into one night? ECW tried this, and ECW didn't get that good of a ratings to the point that Vince McMahon had to bail them out multiple times. Now, Daddy Carter must be sitting on his oil company going, Dixie, 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 isn't there any other way that you could fuck my money away?
I think the payoff is coming up later.
But now TNA's gone to record in New York. I can't remember the name of the area that they did. All I know is when Raw used to go there originally. It's a small building, and it fits in about 1,000, 2,000 people, and the Raw tapings used to happen. I think is it the Manhattan Center?
Yeah,
in New York.
I believe it is. I think it is.
If I'm wrong, please, someone who's in America, correct me on where.
Please correct us.
Yeah.
And don't try to sue us.
Yeah, so that's over there. And they've had some really good tapings, a couple of them have been legit sellouts, a couple of them have been 600-700 people.
Flops.
Well, not flops, because certainly holds about 1,000-1,500.
Well, it's not, compared to what they can do.
But, like, they come over England and they fill Wembley, which should tell you something. If you're going to do something like that, just come over England once every 3 months and do 6 weeks worth of tapings. We will fill your stadiums out.
Guaranteed.
But that's fine. But over there, in front of this small crowd, I said last week that, like, the payoff of the Bully Ray feud with Dixie Carter has got to be Dixie going through a table. Dixie goes through the table. It's in August, first week of August, I think. Shouts takes a bump. Fair play to you, Dixie Carter. Well done. You've done something right. For the first time in 6-7 years, you've actually done a payoff with your character. Congratulations. Hopefully the ratings reflect what happened. If they don't, then you can throw some more spaghetti at the wall. But hopefully it works. If not, then God knows what you're going to do.
It should stick.
Yeah, hopefully that should stick, because Bully Ray now should be your top face. Now, what you should do with your top face, when you have a top face, is put it against your top heel for your main title. But no. You go and put him in a tag team feud because you've just made him a Hall of Famer. God damn it.
God damn it, Dixie.
Why? So instead now, you've got Austin Aries, who's casting option C, to go against Bobby Lashley, and now Team 3D, when you got rid of Devon ages ago, has now come back and said a tag team feud, and you've inducted him into a Hall of Fame. A Hall of Fame where none of your actual wrestlers are. These are all guys that have been made by WCW or WWE or ECW. If you kept Jeff Jarrett in there, he was around there when Sting got inducted. You could have inducted Jeff Jarrett. He was a reasonable first induction. Not in the WWE Hall of Fame, but he could have gone in yours. First round induction pick. Yeah. Brilliant. Then Sting. AJ Styles. Make bridges, bring him back. He's one of your main event people that actually sells, because he is incredible, phenomenal, whatever you want to call him. AJ Styles is brilliant. And now you're suffering because you haven't got him. You've got rid of Christopher Daniels, Kazarian. Where have all these people gone to? Because you're bringing in other people who obviously didn't work in WWE. I know they've gone to Ring of Honor. I'm sorry about that. This is a rant. This is a rant because this makes my blood boil when you go, where have the originals gone? You didn't push them to the point where they were future stars. Samoa Joe could have been a Hall of Famer. He came from Ring of Honor, he's had some incredible matches, and yet he's still in the X Division. For the love of God, please do something with him. And that's the rant over. Otherwise, I could sit here and rant about that for the next 8 minutes.
Breathe now before you actually pop blood vessels in your skull.
But some great points that have happened, but some stupid business points that have happened as well. Like, you've had maybe 3 or 4 good weeks followed by 3 or 4 bad years. So, for the love of God, sort it out. We want you to succeed. WWE is only at its best when it's got competition. And at the moment, you're not competition, you're just second best.
I want you to say second best. You've probably been stepped on.
But...
Well, if you think about it, ROH have got a good... They've got a massive roster.
Yeah, they're
doing well.
ROH have got a good roster. And Lord knows when Jeff Jarrett gets GFW up, which is Global Force Wrestling, that's going to be a company to deal with.
Is that going to fit smack bang right in the competition for WWE or not?
I don't know, but Lord knows that Jeff Jarrett wouldn't put his name against anything that didn't have a solid plan.
Well, you could say that, or have a plan that backfired, like King of the Mountain. But if you notice, when he left, that went with him. Yeah.
I enjoyed the concept of that match.
But, it was a good idea, but just sort of got a little bit messy.
Yeah, but that's fine. But that's my rant over. You know, people might have a little dig at me for that rant.
Breathe.
But I'm now back down to normal level.
Not quite yet. I just want you to just breathe a little bit.
So, we've been asked a couple of questions by a couple of fans again. I'll let Matt answer these while I just take a quick breather, and then I'll chip in with my answers.
All right.
So the first question is, who do you think will win the Money in the Bank contract match? And the second question is, how do you feel about Josh Matthews being future endeavoured?
Ooh. Where do we begin? I don't know which one to begin with. Josh Matthews. Let's go with that. think that's a shame. Because what not many people realise is he was one of the very first guys that was actually in Tough Enough.
Yeah.
For to be, he didn't win it, but it showed that he had enough dedication to stay with the company, work hard, and he got involved. He wasn't wrestling, he wasn't doing what he wanted, but he was doing something that he still enjoyed. Commentating, he was involved. But now, they've released him. What has that accomplished? Because technically now, like the discussion that we had before the podcast started, you know, breaking news. How many commentators are actually on a full-time contract with WWE?
There was 2. There's now only 1.
Straight away. So.
However, I think Renee Young will get the spot that's freed up.
The problem with that is, I just think, people have been questioning, sending in things saying like, has Josh Matthews been fired because he hasn't? Bless me, sorry about that. Must be a bit of a hay fever. I think people have been questioning, has Josh Matthews been fired because he didn't download the WWE app? Has Josh Matthews been fired because he mentioned Mick Foley's name? Oh, sorry. But you get the idea. The point being is, I actually find that it's a bit of a shame that he's been fired. But if there's a proper legal reason, if he's done something that WWE haven't agreed with, then fair enough. I can understand him being released. But why wasn't he released when the big, when was it? Was it Black Thursday? Why wasn't he released then?
Because Black Thursday was used for like the main roster cuts, people that you see on tally. He hasn't really been on tally apart from superstars or something along there.
But they haven't given him the space.
No, because Michael Cole can pretty much do everything. It's cost cutting. Like WWE, people are moaning at WWE now because they're cost cutting. What people don't remember is WWE have now got a development territory which they need to spend money on, a performance centre which they now need to spend money on, a WWE network that they've got to spend money on, a main roster, Stamford, Connecticut headquarters. There's just 5 things I could roll off the top of my head that this company has got to spend to maintain. Whereas before, when it was just there, they didn't have no performance centre, they didn't have no developmental territory apart from the Florida Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
Which they didn't really do that much with anyway. It was kept like a separate entity. But
well, you can say that with NXT, but they got a bit more stream.
Yeah, NXT is that WWE actually takes full responsibility of, whereas FCW, they treated it as like their own separate entity.
Sister company.
Yeah, where they had a little dust picking.
A child company, yeah. Something like where they could literally just go, oh, I like that guy, this guy, that guy.
Yeah, whereas now everyone's employed by WWE, and I don't think people are realising how much money that they're actually spending on this.
True.
To work. Like, this is Vince McMahon going out in all guns blazing, going, right, I'm fed up with all these other wrestling companies. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take the best people from these wrestling companies, bring them in, and I'm going to try to eradicate America of the indies.
But the problem is with getting rid of Josh Matthews has been there for quite some time.
He has.
He's regular.
Yeah, but has he been on tally for that many times? So he's been there 9 years, and how often have you seen him on tally?
True.
So part of business is, and this is coming from a person that has studied business, got a degree in business, you have to cut your dead wood. So you need to cut your dead wood.
Mm.
If he isn't on tally, he's of no use to you. So what? He hosted the pre-show. Renee Young can do that. As someone on another podcast pointed out that I enjoy listening to, Renee Young has sex appeal to the male viewers.
True.
Does Josh Matthews have sex appeal to the male viewers? He may do to a small portion of male viewers. There's nothing wrong with that. But Renee Young will appear to a mass panel of male viewers instead of that limited market, because she's got sex appeal and she's one of the few women people that ESPN want and all the major sport networks want.
True.
So WWE is trying the best to appease her. So all the power to her. Like, but she's going to be good.
But how many guys like Josh Matthews, when they're doing an interview, can rock them around? I'm sorry, I had to bring that off.
So that's my view. Like, they're getting rid of Josh Matthews. It wasn't done on bad terms. Like, if they go through a boom period where they've probably got some excess money, they might employ him back again. But until that point, if you're not using him, get rid. Yeah, people are forgetting that WWE is a business. It's not a charity. It's a business. True. It's here to make money. People moan at it when it's showing losing money, but the reason it's losing money is it's got a load of dead weight just sucking the wages out of it.
Very valid point.
So, like, you need to, like, concentrate on making money and making the most out of what you got. NXT's proving worthwhile. It's produced Bray Wyatt, who is over. Roman Reigns, who is going to be over.
No, is over.
Seth Rollins is over, will be better as a face than a heel. Dean Ambrose is over. Big E was over until he met Rusev Crush. Lorna.
Whoa. Speaking of Rusev, where did he come from? NXT.
Yeah. Like, everyone, like Cesaro is over NXT. Lorna is over NXT. Like, NXT is proving worthwhile for the investment and will continue to prove worthwhile when the main roster is up there.
And replaced by
soon
NXT.
enough, like, my thoughts on this, I've called this the start of a revolution. Well, it'll be out there soon. But until then, business has got to fund itself. NXT's doing that. The Performance Centre's doing that. Like, look at the divas that are coming up now that can actually wrestle. Paige, Emma, Charlotte.
Ooh, nice throw in there.
Sasha Banks. All good women wrestlers. Summer Rae.
Can wrestle.
Yeah, can wrestle if they give her the chance. She can't dance, but she can wrestle. But, so that's that. So, who do you think will win the Money in the Bank contract match?
Oh, who we got in it?
Seth Rollins. Dean Ambrose.
Nope.
RVD. Dolph Ziggler.
Ooh.
Bad News Barrett. Kofi
If
Kingston.
not injured.
And one other person.
Ooh.
Forget who the other person is.
You forgot him already?
Yeah.
Well, bear this in mind. Bad News Barrett could be taken out.
I know Bad News Barrett could be taken out. Who have I missed out on the contract match?
I think personally, if out of them choices,
There's one more. So you pick who you think's going to win.
if Bad News does enter, I'm going to say possibly Bad News Barrett.
Which is a fair choice. Jack Swagger.
No, he ain't winning it.
Dean Ambrose. I think Dean Ambrose will win it.
You think Dean?
I reckon Dean Ambrose will win it. Seth Rollins seems the obvious choice to win it. And there was something said on SmackDown that there always needs to be a plan B. Now, how good would it be if Dean Ambrose turned in to be that plan B?
Ooh. But then that would mean he's on board with Triple H.
No. It means that Seth Rollins had a plan B, where either him or Dean would be able to grab hold of the contract. Maybe Seth going over to Evolution was just a ploy.
Possible.
But even if he doesn't do it that way, he's there to give conflict to someone else being popular and winning the match. I don't think Seth Rollins will win it. But I hope Dean Ambrose does. Dean Ambrose would be a more believable option to win it.
Nah, B&B, if he's there. If he is
Yeah,
there.
if Bad News Barrett's there, brilliant. He should win it. And Ambrose and Rollins should cost each other it by going by making the ladder
But
fall
then
over.
again, there is one more person that we're forgetting.
Ziggler? No,
He's already done
too
it,
far down.
He's already done it once.
Yeah, and RVD's already done it once. Jack Swagger's already done it once.
Yep.
So, where'd you go? So, I reckon it'll be Dean Ambrose. And if Dean Ambrose wins, Daniel Bryan should come in, knit the contract. Brock Lesnar should win at SummerSlam. And Dean Ambrose could cash in on Brock Lesnar after the match for Dean Ambrose to have his SummerSlam moments. Because Brock Lesnar ain't going to be there every week.
Oh, no. Far from it. But definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah, so...
I do like the idea of that. But if B&B's there, I think he'll take it.
Yeah. If he's there, if he's fit enough, he's supposedly got a dislocated shoulder.
Ouch.
So, we're just going to do a quick round of related news. I read something funny this week about Mick Foley.
Oh.
Supposedly...
Now, I would mention this a little bit early, but go for the full explanation now.
So supposedly St. Michael's is on a certain naughty list of Vincent Kennedy McMahon, and his name isn't allowed to be spoken on television at the moment, which doesn't matter because he's already in the Hall of Fame. So it probably doesn't matter if he burns a couple of bridges now because he's already got his spot in the Hall of Fame. But this is all over a certain superstar who is over not getting his spot in the Royal Rumble. And a certain individual called Mick Foley decides to send a text message to a certain individual's now wife saying, send my condolences to Brian. I'm sorry he isn't in the main event. I'm disappointed. I'll have a word with Vince, hoping that my views carry some weight, and I'll have a word and see if we can sort something out. Now, the only problem is, this did not go to Brie Bella.
Oh.
This went to one Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Oh.
Now, a valid point that was brought up by one of my colleagues earlier is
that would be
Brie begins with B, and Vince begins with a V. Now, even if you use an iPhone...
Even if you use the last name.
Yeah.
Brie Bella.
Or
B. McMahon. That's quite a big leap.
And everything on an iPhone's like address book on a contacts goes in like alphabetical order. So it'll go A, B, C, D, E, F, and you get the point. Now, the only way that they could be next to each other, and this is a brilliant explanation that I came up with, and, you know, and this is my one-liner for the week, is the only way that they could be anywhere near each other is if Brie is somewhere near Balland or Bastard on Mick's address book, which both begin with B. Or it could even be on the ball bag. But, you know, this is your boss, so you wouldn't put him under that. So, Mick Foley, I'd love to know how you've gone from having Brie under a B to having Vince under a V. Like, you couldn't even put, like, Brie under Virgin, because God knows that she isn't one. So you're not even going to get next to each other on that. So
there's no way.
So there's no possible way, especially with Mick Foley. He must have hundreds of contacts.
He's got to. He's Mick Foley.
Yeah.
He knows everybody.
Yeah, so like his contact book must be about 200-300 people.
So how the hell has he managed to get the slip up of?
He must have a pet name for Vince McMahon that comes under B. I've dropped a few that, like, if I was angry...
Potentials.
Yeah, I've dropped a few potentials. If anyone else has got a couple of potentials that you'd stick in there...
Oh, please send them in. I'll love... That'd be a wicked read.
You know, what did his old one used to be? Like, you see, you can't even put him under genetic jackhammer. Because that's G. You know, it's a little bit closer. So, like, you got the genetic jackhammer.
Even that, or just jackhammer.
Yeah.
That doesn't go with it.
No, so we don't understand how you can get the two mixed up. So that's everything for this week's episode, folks. We wanted to end it on a little bit of a funnier note.
Oh,
so that's that there. So
that's tickle me. Tickle me.
How can we contact you, Matt?
You can either contact me through my Facebook, which is literally Matt Burns UK, or you can contact me. You can actually check my own YouTube page. But to be honest with you, the YouTube page hasn't been accessed for quite some time because I'm putting too much more of a focus on this. So instead of using my YouTube page, which is Matt Burns TV, you're best contacting me through the Breaking the Fourth Wall page, the YouTube page. That'd be one of your best bets. But there's also me, Matt Burns 04 at hotmail.com, and there's your ever so loving favourite. Would you care to do the honours?
Which is Matt Bad Boy Burns on Twitter. I don't know if Matt's mentioned before that he usually sells some sunglasses, which should be going up on the internet soon. So if you want your own pair of Matt Burns sunglasses, and he might even sign them for you if you're lucky.
I was waiting for when you're gonna fit that in.
So there's Matt's merchandise plug done.
And yet, funny enough, I'm not the one doing it.
He bribes me to do it. Like
I haven't bribed anybody.
I get a cut off the back end of everything that he sells. So
come to the shows instead. Please come to the shows.
So if you want to contact myself, you can find me on Facebook. It's Nathan Goff. You can contact me via Twitter, which is Wrestling's Fourth Wall, Breaking the Fourth Wall on Facebook, or bt4w@outlook.com. You'll find me on any of them, and I'll try and answer your queries as often as we can.
But before we go, is there anything you'd like to plug out? Anything else? I'd say we're going to have to plug, once again, Standard Designs.
Yeah, Standard Designs.
Always needs a good plug.
Yeah, also, just a little teaser. Some people might want to do some research on a couple of wrestling magazines. So if you look at Ring Sport Wrestling UK, have a look at that. It's undergoing a radical reform at the moment. So have a look at the last couple of issues. Yeah. And then it'll hopefully be a good teaser for what's to come from them. It's a wrestling company in the UK that's got over 50 years of history, and they're just undergoing a reform at the moment. We've got Standing Designs. We've also got Slam Wrestling. If you want to follow them, they're on Twitter and Facebook as well.
EDW Wrestling.
EDW. There's United Wrestling. And
HOP. Which is...
I can't hop.
I'm not saying hop. That's the initials for House of Pain Wrestling. House of Pain, which is based in Nottingham. But there is one I do want to plug. One person, a certain Scott Powell.
Yeah, if you get a chance to go on YouTube and if you just search Lazy Eye, and it'll bring up himself. He's a solo artist, got a lot of potential. We're hoping sooner or later that he'll be able to do us a piece for Breaking the Fourth Wall as an introduction for when we go do the live radio shows, which should be interesting. Hopefully, we want to be like the English version of JBL and Cole, but only better. Like we don't address football as soccer. We address football as rugby or American football. So everything gets mentioned in the proper way. Like a touchdown's a touchdown, and a goal's a goal, and a draw's a draw. It isn't a tie, because a tie's that thing that you put around your neck.
Damn right.
So at the end of the day, that's that. However, if you want to listen to the JBL and Cole radio show, it's a great listen. JBL is brilliant, and hopefully,
masterful.
He's masterful. Hopefully, he takes that in good sport. I doubt he even listens to it, but if he does listen to the end of that, he hopefully doesn't take that wrong. It's just a little cheeky jab. So that's there. So other than that, folks, as I said last week, if you can't be good, be safe. If you can't be safe, don't be sorry. And we'll look forward to catching you soon.
And hopefully, and we do have to state this, and I have to advise it, please go and visit your local wrestling, and I hope you enjoy it.